mic is on.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Ray, can I please have a roll call?
Mr. Accomando?
Present.
Mrs. Borelli? Mr. Cipollone?
Present.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Present.
Mr. Quinn?
Present.
Mrs. Robinson?
Here.
Mr. White? Mr. Winnie?
Present.
Mrs. Zottarelli?
Present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. I would like to have a motion to open the meeting to the public for
Motion.
agenda items only.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Residents are requested to state their names, addresses, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of the meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5 minutes duration. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Would anyone like to come speak from the public? No one? Okay, I'd like a motion to close the meeting to the public.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, I'll turn it over to Ray. Mr. Karati?
Thank you, President Robinson. This evening I have the December minutes, bill list for January, payroll for December, the budget transfers, board secretary and treasurer's reports for the month of November, so I need a motion on A through D.
I have a motion?
Second.
Yeah, okay, any discussion? Okay, roll call?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes, I'd like to abstain from check number 52985.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Yes, except I abstain on the minutes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes to all except abstain from check number 52986.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Zottarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
That concludes my items.
Um,
I got it, yeah. Okay, so welcome, everybody. Happy to announce that the temperature is still above freezing, so that's good. And we're going to have some talented people entertaining us in just a little bit or sharing some information. But before we get there, I'd like to introduce our student representatives this evening, Kayla Baginski, Summer Rossetti, and Laura Scaturo, who will give us a good background of what's going on in the district. So take it away.
Congratulations to the following students who, under the direction of Mr. Kudin, auditioned and were accepted into on the 2018 North Jersey Region 1 Chorus on Saturday. The Region 1 Chorus is the best singers in North Jersey. Hundreds of singers auditioned for the chorus, which will perform at Bloomfield High School on January 27th. Summer Alfonso, Kushi Patel, Allison Beckus, Emily Beckus, Michael Mazzone, Mateo Rosales, Marco Tobas, Jonathan Beckus, and Andrew McCauley. Miss Salma's anatomy and physiology classes visited Liberty Science Center yesterday to observe a live kidney transplant webcast. They also had an opportunity to spend time with their new teacher, Miss Gomes, who will be replacing Miss Salma next year. The guidance department will be hosting a parent information night next Wednesday at 7 p.m. here in the auditorium to discuss the program of studies and scheduling process for the 2018-2019 school year. Athletics. Our wrestlers competed at the Bergen County Championships. Individual place winner were George Mardo and Anthony Bisanti, who took 7th place. Dean Sedekase took 5th place, and CJ Lamatola fell in the finals, coming in 2nd place. Overall, a solid showing by the Falcons. Our girls' basketball team is currently 6-2 overall and undefeated in the conference. Come support our competition cheer team as we host our annual Saddlebrook High School competition on Sunday, January 14th. In the NJIC Indoor Track Championship, freshman Stephanie Forster won the girls' novice 200-meter dash and finished 6th in girls' 55-meter dash. Javier Carr, 6th place in the girls' 800-meter run. Lara Menicello, 7th in the girls' triple jump. On the boys' side, Brendan Johnson came in 2nd and Tim Ramirez in 7th place in the boys' novice 200-meter dash. Sean Roberts finished in 2nd and Lance Trusley in 6th in the boys' 400-meter. Sean Roberts finished in 4th place in the boys' long jump, and Sahib Singh finished in 6th place in the boys' triple jump.
Franklin School students enjoyed their winter sing-along, where our groups of families presented various school community members with a thank you card and a small token of our appreciation for all they do for us. A link to pictures can be found on the Franklin School website. Our student council is hosting their annual Super Bowl. The school is divided into 2 teams, Team Chapel and Team Kugler. Whichever team brings in the most cans wins. The students who bring in the highest number of cans will get to pie the other team's leader in the face. And if we beat last year's number of 1,232 cans, then Miss Violetti will get pie in the face. We are also preparing for a winter concert, which will be held on Tuesday, January 23rd at the high school auditorium. Long School. LMS students participated in the Pennies for Patients fundraiser prior to the holiday break, raising approximately $1,200. The Student Council also led the school in-service project in the form of Toys for Tots Drive in December, culminating our holiday sing-along and pajama day event and class party day. The LMS 1st and 4th grade held a Polar Express themed event in December that filled with STEM-related challenge activities.
Smith. December was quite a busy month at Smith School. At the end of the month, our students had a school-wide holiday sing-along. Each grade performed a couple holiday songs to the rest of the school. We had festive songs, ugly holiday sweaters, recorders singing, and an appearance from Santa on that day. In connection with our school kindness initiative, our 4th, 5th, and 6th graders had the opportunity to view the movie Wonder. This movie is based on the popular children's novel Wonder by R.J. Palacio. The storyline follows a 5th grade boy who was born with Treacher Collins syndrome. This was a great experience for our students to see kindness in action. After the field trip, teachers engaged students in conversations around empathy and acceptance. We are currently preparing for our winter concert, which will be on January 24th at the high school.
All righty. Thank you, ladies. We appreciate that. Also, right before the holidays, it's important that I want to send a thank you to the band and chorus at the high school and middle school. Did an excellent job with their performances. We look forward to the elementary schools coming up. Also, I just wanted to mention that I was at the Franklin School Sing-Along, and they started this new initiative with Character Education, where they would recognize certain people in the community, and Mr. Karate and myself were two of the people being recognized, but it was a pleasure to actually see anyone from school bus drivers, our bus drivers to crossing guards, cafeteria workers, all involved in this program. It really was something rewarding to see, and it was something that I was very proud of everybody at Franklin School. The best part is that my certificate was surrounded by Almond Joy candies, so that was made it extra specially good. But did you want to say something?
Yeah, so they also recognize the board members, and we want to thank them for their sweet tokens of appreciation. They gave us all candy or gum, and very nice. So we appreciate that very much.
And also at the high school, there was, right before the holiday, there was a pep rally, so it was a very festive time of the year for us, and very nice to have everybody come together and enjoy the holiday season. What I'd like to do now is introduce to you Mr. Lawler, our high school principal, who will be doing a demonstration and reporting to the board on the STEM convention, which will take place next Wednesday. So along with Mr. Lawler, we have many students, but also Ms. Ann Hazley from our media center, Ms. Catherine Augustine, gifted and talented, Mr. Haas, and Ms. Elena Resnick. So I think everybody's here, and if not, then they were involved in doing the program, and we thank you for being here. So, Mr. Lawler, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Just some breaking news. The girls' basketball team just won.
Yay.
46 points. And also, if you can maybe move this meeting along, there's a wrestling match currently going on against Secaucus.
That's a big, yeah. We heard the music as we were coming down here. It was, is that, that's not working?
There we go.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you, Mr. Ishika, and good evening to members of our Board of Education, colleagues, parents, and students. The middle school, high school is presenting a preview of our STEM convention, which will take place next Wednesday, January 17th. This event is a great showcase of our programs that are promoting our vision for engaging 21st century learners. This is the second year we are hosting STEMCon. There are going to be more than 25 exhibits facilitated by our faculty and students. Some new additions for 2018 include an interactive statistical analysis of M&M packets. And when I say interactive, that means you get to eat the M&Ms after you plot them on a graph with the colors. A virtual reality tour with Google Expeditions, and the Three Little Pigs Engineering Challenge.
Keep going.
That has nothing to do with STEMCon. I don't know where that came from. We really do not hope to light anything on fire here tonight.
There was an experiment that went bad.
Also new for 2018, we are extending hours into the evening to encourage parent and community involvement. Our TAG program and media specialists are helping making connections with the elementary students to advance our goal of making STEM education a K-12 initiative here in Saddlebrook. Before we continue, I'd like to thank Mr. Ishika and the board for their support of our programs. The Saddlebrook Educational Foundation for the generous grant they provided to help fund this event. And I would like to extend a big thanks to Mrs. Emily Sikamatalis, Saddlebrook parent and member of the SBF, for her time, support, and assistance in helping us arrange for guest speakers this year at STEMCon. Students will have opportunities throughout the day to meet with industry professionals to learn more about STEM-related careers, including healthcare, information technology, and graphic design. Mayor White has secured a speaker from the Bergen County Bureau of Criminal Investigation for students with an interest in science behind law enforcement. We're also welcoming back Rich Kashowski, who will demo some new software apps for students. And while we miss Rich Kay, it's opened up a new partnership with his new school at Wayne Valley. Lastly, our keynote speaker, Matthew Pierce, will be joining us from NASA to tell students more about internship opportunities. And I thank Ms. Resnick for her help in arranging this session. It's really exciting to see this event to keep grow. I can stand here all night and tell you about it, but I think it would be more appropriate for you to hear from really the talent behind this event, and that's our students and our faculty. So please welcome Ann Hazley, David Haas, Alana Resnick, and their student facilitators will be giving you a tour of some of the exhibits, and that's Allison Walby, Kaylin Mahoney, Robert Kapanos, Nick Abiso, Patrick Gaywell, Jasvir Kaur, and Natalie Cristancho. So please welcome them tonight. And I know how much you guys love PowerPoint presentations, so we're kind of changing it up a little bit, and instead of kind of just showing you pictures of the event, we actually have some of the exhibits here tonight, and we invite everybody up onto stage and to take a quick little tour and listen to our facilitators, all right? So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we can just let us know when we can walk up there.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so very much like STEMCon, please come on up, take a look at the exhibits, and our facilitators will tell you more about it.
I don't know if you guys have seen this book. This is awesome. It's from the different section. So we would put up in the house for the wolf. So we can use most of this stuff for the wolf and see how we're going to use our super wolf band, which is the bigger ones, and we're going to see how close we can get without knocking the house down. So it's really fun. We're going to go knock down that house.
Right on down the line.
They all lay up school, they're just walking and yeah, I think
For the younger kids. So they can either get so we give them a time frame, they can build, and they can build a big house, and already over this house, which house is so with this one, we want to build a
Going south.
I've never been even to yeah, anything past
Yeah, exactly.
President.
And then so when I went to, and then moved down there to the big house, down like on the golf course, and I keep that where I could go when I want to go on the beach, or I want to go where I want to go. Like if people are staying on the beach. That's why.
We actually, a couple weeks ago, we built a printer.
Yeah, on the depends on the month. So in April, May, it's probably like 1,500. It's June, July, so I'd say I would go in August. Kids aren't around, they go back to school in August down there, so it's a little different. So I would see what I already have I worked first in when I worked in kind of actually how I teaching because of her law. I was just had a baby. I was worked in Catholic school for 5 years. Like I worked at Subway 7 years. I just worked in Catholic school at Subway. Then I got
They had fire over by the mattress firm on 46.
No, but just like
But I got 10 years before I moved. Not 5 years hopefully before I buy it. Get everybody together? Yeah, we'll be on. Okay. Rent out, it's 55 and over, a little 2-bedroom, 2-bath house. So we're done anyway.
Yeah, stuff we didn't have available to us.
So you want me to break these up?
Yeah, there's no other way
Or is
to,
it the whole?
because like, it'll kill me to abstain from different ones.
Okay. But I can do this whole thing as a block, right?
One, and then 2 separate, 3 separate, 4
4
separate.
separate. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
because then I can we'll always talk when it's up again.
So it's a brick. It's in a little 55 room.
Okay.
10 minutes in
Okay.
Open first, are we going to close and coming back, or we do?
No, we're gonna start and-
everything?
We're gonna go through everything up to personnel. Then we'll come back in. We're gonna do everything up until personnel.
And then we're coming back?
Yeah, and then we'll come back to vote on personnel.
When am I doing this after D?
Okay. Everybody's back in place?
And then we're going to come back, and then we're going to go to 2 or 3 of other stuff to talk about.
Shouldn't be anything else to talk about. I got the VP coming in. That's it.
We do that later, when we do the
Yeah.
superintendent.
Right.
So then we're
Yeah.
gonna go back to close again. That's, I'm just, right, am I saying, am I right?
Right.
Okay, just, okay, got it.
That's after the meeting.
So it's two
Okay.
closed sessions, okay, ready?
All right.
Okay, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So again, want to thank Mr. Lawler, all of our students, Ms. Hazley, Mr. Haas, and also Ms. Resnick for all the fine work that they just displayed to us, and we look forward to next Wednesday. We certainly do. So we will be there. Thank you. Moving ahead now, I'd like to move to the actual agenda. Under Student Services, please look through all of number 1. There are 9 areas that are listed, so please look through there if there are any questions.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second, please? Any discussion? Okay, roll call?
It's what, excuse me, is
Okay, go ahead.
number 1 part of the findings?
No, just A1.
Okay.
A1, those 9 items, the 9 ID numbers.
Just, yeah, just the,
Okay.
just the first
Just
part.
Not the HIV
Just the first
cases.
part.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So see that, I will, we got to do roll call.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Ottarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
Okay, now please review number 2 for HIB findings.
Through the chair, I'd like to abstain. I was not here for that process.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Through the chair,
You need a vote.
abstain from number 2.
All right, wait till the...
Okay,
Oh,
wait till we do
Okay,
the
yeah,
vote then,
yeah, all
okay?
right.
All right. So can I have a motion, please?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Accomando?
Abstain from number 2?
Mr. Cipollone?
Abstain from number 2 as well.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Abstain?
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Ottarelli?
No.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
I'll defer to the attorney.
Okay.
That's not a second.
We have a change of vote to yes.
All right, Mrs. Ottarelli?
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
moving on now to number 3.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Abstain?
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Ottarelli? Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
Okay, and also now, number 4, that's 2 HIB cases.
Can I have a motion?
Yeah.
So moved.
Any discussion?
There was a second.
Who was the second? Who seconded?
Second?
Okay, roll call?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Ottarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Now, under B, curriculum, instruction, technology, and program, actually, we can look at all 3 on this, 1 through 3.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion?
Second? Any discussion? Okay, roll call?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Ottarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
Moving on to C, business and board. Actually, you can do all of number 1, which consists of 14 items.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Ottarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
Okay, and now you can look through numbers 2 through number 8.
Okay, can I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes. Okay, we're going to recess to closed session. Do I need a motion first? Okay. To recess to close executive session to discuss personnel matters pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. The subject matter discussed may be disclosed to the public if and when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Action will be taken when the board reconvenes in open session.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll be back shortly, yes? Yes, shortly. An open,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're open.
Okay, personnel, we can look at numbers 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
Okay. Going to move to number 4 only, appoint Raymond Searles to the position of high school vice principal effective March 11th, 2018 or sooner, if released by previous employer at a salary of $110,000. Mr. Searles is sitting right there next to Mr. Lawler. Had some experience at Seton Hall University as an adjunct professor, taught for 2 years at Cresskill Schools, and worked in the, it's a very similar situation to here, where it's a middle school, high school environment. He likes to work in a smaller school. He's coming out of Indian Hills, and for approximately seven years there at Indian Hills, is currently a supervisor of English, but wants to move into the position of a vice principal, getting back to talking to kids and all the other things that we need him to do here. Also, you have to keep in mind that anybody in a VP position here is also responsible as supervisory position, overseeing different areas, and he certainly comes with that experience. He also comes with experience of working with students who might have some disciplinary issues. Was part of the one-to-one initiative over at Indian Hills. I just highlighted some areas I think you should know about. Was involved in the curriculum writing for district-wide public speaking courses. Was also served on the scholarship and honor graduate committee. Worked with student discipline, served as the supervision to the in-school suspension duty program, so we like that. And also tutoring program. So a very diverse background. We'll be happy to have him on board. Once again, Mr. Raymond Searles, so we will vote now.
Okay, can I have a motion?
I hope.
Any discussion? Okay, we welcome you aboard. Roll call? Sorry. We're-
Mr. Accomando?
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes. So welcome to Saddlebrook.
Yep.
Welcome aboard.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Mr. Lawler for his participation in setting up all the interview committees that consisted of staff members, supervisors, parents, the gamut. We had everybody involved in the process, and I thank everybody that actually took part in the interview process, including you, Mr. Searles. So that's good. All right. Now let's look at numbers 5 and 6.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
And to conclude this, section 7, number 7 through number 10.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Cipollone?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Winnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Zardarelli? Mrs. Robinson?
Okay.
Mrs. Robinson?
Mr. Robinson.
No. Yes. I said yes. I did say yes. I said, I said yes.
All right.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so where are we up to? We have no negotiations, they're illegal, so, talk about the committee reports? So, did everyone receive a copy of the committee report? I mean, the committee, list of the committees. We worked to try to be as, fair as we could be in getting everyone at least on 2 committees. And thank you for your flexibility, and if you have any questions, or, let us know. I also would like to discuss the possibility of having, the chairperson will have to report at all the meetings, like we normally do, but have a form that the board all gets a copy of after the committee meets, so that we can all review and have, information and be part of our minutes, so we have the reference. So it's something I'm going to bring up, and we can talk about it more if you'd like, but I think it's a way of keeping track of, because our committee meets on Tuesdays, we could just fill it out right at the meeting and then give it to Ray, and then this way everybody, we have a record and a reference if we have to go back and look at some of the things we talked about in the committee. So that's something I had asked Tony and Ray and Stephen. We can talk about it. Sure, go ahead.
Is that, when you say a form, is that in addition to the agenda and the sign-in sheet that we get? Is it like us taking minutes and then reporting it?
It's more of like a summary of what was discussed, pretty much your minutes about what we discussed, who was there, what day you met. It's just a record, so we have it. If someone's not here, they could talk about it,
You basically take the agenda and then highlight the things that you spoke about in regards to that agenda item, and that's it.
Yeah, nothing.
That's it.
Just so everybody is aware of what is being discussed, and we can talk about it. Okay? All right. Okay, any correspondence? Anybody? Okay, any old business?
Just wanted to mention, we had a parent that needed some assistance the other night. You heard speak. I did meet with her, did meet with that person today, and the Chromebook has been sent home, and all the arrangements are put in place for starting Monday.
Okay, thank you. And under old business also, I just want everyone to be aware that we are meeting tonight with the superintendent search firm. We begin our interviews next week, so we're in the process, and hopefully we'll have somebody soon. So that's where we are with that. Anybody have any other old business? New business? Nobody?
Just a reminder again that the high school, the end of this month, will have, schedules will be built, or starting to be looked over and developed. Also, the parent conferences will take place, again, I keep thinking it's the 30th and up to February 2nd or so, somewhere in there. All right, so that please, if you have children at the high school, make sure you go online, follow the instructions, and join us for those meetings.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'd like to have a motion to open the meeting to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the meeting's now open to the public. Please state your name and your address when coming up to the microphone.
Motion.
Okay, well, I don't think anyone's coming to speak, so thank you for coming anyway. I'd like a motion to close the meeting to the public.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, opposed? Okay. Now we're going to, again, I have to read again? Oh, no, I'm changing. Okay, so we're going to recess again to close the executive session to discuss the superintendent candidates with the search consultants. The subject matter discussed may be disclosed to the public if and when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Action will not be taken when the board reconvenes in open session. Okay? Can I have a motion? All right, all in favor? Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right.